If you don't silence the voice of doubt inside you, it'll silence every dream you've ever dared to imagine. It'll convince you to back away from greatness, freeze your progress, and bury your purpose under hesitation. That voice is not your friend. It's your captor. But if you listen to this message and live by the truths I give you, you will rise. You'll become a man of certainty, boldness, and real results. You'll stop asking for permission to win. You'll demand it. So hear me now, or stay a prisoner to the voice that's been lying to you your whole life. If there's a voice in your head telling you're not good enough, hear this: that voice isn't you. It's your master. Until you destroy it, that voice wasn't born in your soul. It was planted on purpose. It was fed through repetition and kept alive by your obedience. It doesn't exist to help you grow. It survives off your hesitation. Every time you believe it, every time you listen to its whisper, you give away more of your control over your life. Doubt isn't just weakness. It's a strategy. It's the quiet weapon used to take down most men before they ever set foot on the field of their dreams. It's not random, and it's not harmless. It was placed there carefully, watered by fear, doubt, and foggy thinking. It is mental slavery, and the cruelest part is, the enslaved don't even realize they're in chains. Inside every man's mind is a courtroom. Every idea, every goal, stands trial before it can become real. And the sad truth is, for most people, that courtroom is rigged. The judge has already been bought. He serves fear, not truth. He sides with critics, not courage. He throws out your boldest ideas with sarcasm and stamps safe choices with approval. That courtroom doesn't give you justice. It hands down paralysis. You weren't born this way. Babies don't doubt their right to cry or crawl or speak. They just do. They insist. They try. They fail and try again. But somewhere along the way, the world taught you to stop, to hesitate, to overthink, to wait for permission before trusting yourself, to fear mistakes more than you feared standing still. And that wasn't an accident. In outwitting the devil, I revealed the devil's best tricking drifting. A man who drifts thinks without aim, acts without direction, and follows without question. He's led by circumstances, trends, and fear pretending to be logic. He thinks he's in control. But every choice he makes is filtered through fear, and fear of being broke, fear of being judged, fear of losing. Those fears guard the gates to self-mastery. The devil doesn't need chains to keep you stuck. All he needs is a whisper that says, "What if this fails?" All he needs is a second of hesitation where there should have been a decision, a delay where there should have been bold action, a question where there should have been belief. And once that hesitation becomes your pattern, you start to drift. You wait. You settle, dead. And you tell yourself you're being wise. But the tragedy isn't that the voice exists. It's that you've believed it for so long, you think it's your own. You say things like, "I'm not ready," or "What if I can't?" or "What will they think?" As if those thoughts were born in you, but they weren't. They're the echo of your programming. They've been repeated so often, they've learned to sound like your voice. Doubt is a mimic. It copies your rhythm, your tone, to hide its true goal. The first step to freedom is to spot it, catch it in the act, then destroy it. When it says, "You're not qualified," you answer, "I'm qualified to begin, and I grow stronger with every move I make." When it says, "You might fail," you say, "Then failure will teach me, and I will keep going." When it says, "They'll laugh at you," you say, "Let them. They'll watch me win." You must meet lies with truth, and keep speaking that truth until it drowns the noise. Can't you see? The man who doubts himself has already given up. He can't even begin, because he's already ended. He needs no enemy to defeat him. Dead. He's forfeited the fight before it even starts. But the man who knows his mind, who watches his thoughts, who leads with decision and desire, that man is dangerous. That man is alive. That man is free. You must become that man. You must choose to see doubt not as a sign to quit, but as the trigger to begin. Every great creator, every industry leader, every inventor and visionary, you know what they all had in common. They heard that same voice of doubt, but they questioned it. They ignored it. They outthought it, outworked it, and outlasted it. That's how greatness is built, not by never hearing fear, but by refusing to bow to it. When I interviewed Thomas Edison, I met a man who failed more than most people even try. But he didn't call failure defeat. He called it feedback. When others laughed, he listened. When others quit, he leaned in. He didn't wait to feel confident. He acted first. Confidence came later. That's the pattern. Act now, and readiness will grow with the doing. The same was true for Henry Ford. When people said his idea for a gas-powered carriage was absurd, when engineers swore a V8 engine couldn't exist, he said 3 words, build it anyway. He didn't argue. He didn't wait. He decided. And his conviction forced the impossible into existence. Faith is power, but decision is the switch that turns it on. Now it's your turn. You must decide. The voice of doubt will return. Maybe it's whispering even now, but it cannot have the final word. When it says, you're not ready, you say, I begin anyway. When it says, this won't work for you, you answer, I'll make it work. You must override hesitation with certainty, lies with truth, and fear with purpose. Say these words out loud, and mean thing, I'm the type of person who has a definite purpose. I'm the type of person who acts even in doubt. I'm the type of person who finishes what I start. I'm the type of person who builds belief through repetition. I'm the type of person who decides fast and moves boldly. These aren't just phrases. They're identity. Each one is a mental hammer, breaking the stone of hesitation until the path ahead is clear. Speak them daily, and you will rewire the voice inside. So now, the question is or will you keep listening to the voice that's trapped you? Or will you finally listen to the one voice that can set you free? Your own. The choice is now. The mind follows whoever speaks with the most certainty. So be that voice. You weren't born with doubt. You didn't enter this world asking if you deserved success. You didn't hesitate to cry when you were hungry. You didn't second-guess walking or talking. You tried, failed, tried again. You never waited for permission to become. That was your natural state, bold, instinctive, and persistent. Then the world started speaking. Sit still. Don't speak unless spoken to. That's not realistic. Stop dreaming so big. And with every word, seeds of doubt were planted. The teacher who penalized your creativity, the parent who scolded your ambition, the peer who laughed at your ideas, the systems that made you conform before they let you create. Each was a hit to your inner power. It doesn't happen all at once. Just one moment. An insult, a rejection, an awkward silence. A young mind starts to pull back, edits its thoughts, holds back before speaking, begins to think maybe it's better not to try at all. And the voice of doubt is born. But make no mistake, it's not your voice. It's not logic. It's not protection. It's your captor, wearing the faces of those who once silenced you. One moment of fear can pass, but repeated fear becomes a pattern. That's the law of hypnotic rhythm. Whatever you think over and over, whatever you allow emotionally again and again becomes automatic. Eventually, no one needs to shut down your imagination. You do it yourself. No one needs to make you hesitate. You already are. This is how men become drifters. Not by accident, but by repetition. And once that rhythm locks in, the mind keeps following it until it's replaced by something stronger. This is why most men live the same year of doubt 60 times and call it a life. They wonder why they're stuck, never realizing that doubt's rhythm has overtaken desire's pull. It's not willpower they lack. It's awareness. I've named 6 ghosts that haunt men's minds: fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of lost love, fear of aging, fear of death. But the most dangerous one, criticism. Because it's the first to kill your faith, before it ever has a chance to grow. One cruel comment from a parent, one sarcastic laugh from classmates, one embarrassing failure in public. These hurt deeper than most failures ever could, because failure teaches. But criticism, when believed, paralyzes. It causes a child to doubt their own dreams. It trains a young man to censor himself. It convinces the ambitious to never start. Dead. And it gets worse. Because doubt doesn't always sound like fear. It can wear a nice suit. It sounds like logic. It says things like, be realistic. It praises caution as if it's wisdom, but it's not. It's fear dressed like reason. It says wait until you're ready, even though readiness only comes from taking action. It says people will laugh at you. And in saying that, it kills the dream before it's even spoken. Most people think they're being wise, but it's not wisdom. It's practiced fear. The world has learned how to justify playing small. People live in chains and call it being mature. They mock courage because it threatens their excuses. Instead of growing, they scoff. Instead of acting, they analyze. Instead of risking, they retreat. That's not wisdom. That's fear with a degree. But the men who shaped history, the ones who changed the world, they didn't listen. Lincoln faced public failure again and again. He lost elections. He was mocked for how he looked. He was crushed by personal tragedy. But he held on. He kept moving forward with one thought: preserve the purpose. Preserve the union of a divided nation. What made him great wasn't the absence of criticism. It was that he refused to let it define him. Edison, laughed at, dismissed, called foolish. He failed forward 10,000 times, and each failure was not a defeat, but a step forward. He never saw his setbacks as a statement about his worth. He saw them as progress. The light wasn't born just from genius. It came from faith that refused to die under the weight of other people's opinions. This is why I say it so clearly. The man who doubts himself has already surrendered. He doesn't need an enemy. He's already lost, because he's crowned the voice of fear and called it truth. He's given power to the lie and now wonders why he lives like a servant. But you cannot be that man. You have to trace that voice of doubt back to where it started and realize it was just a moment that should have passed, dead, a moment that didn't deserve your obedience. Every time you entertain doubt, you strengthen the rhythm of defeat. But every small act of faith begins a new rhythm, one that leads to power, the kind you were born to carry. You weren't born to tiptoe. You were built to lead. You have gifts no animal has. Imagination, will, decision. These weren't given to you so you could hide. They were given so you could build. So every time you freeze up, every time you settle for comfort instead of your calling, you're denying your birthright. Start today with this. Say it. Say it like you mean it. I was born with the power to think, to decide, and to become. Say it when doubt creeps in. Say it when they laugh. Say it when fear whispers again. Because every time you do, the old rhythm starts to break. The spell weakens. The fog lifts. And the real you steps forward. That voice of doubt, it was never you. It was handed to you, and you accepted it. Now it's time to return it. Give it back. Push it into the dark where it came from. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move anyway. That's how you remember who you are. Doubt is not your voice. It never was. It's a fake, an intruder, a parasite that studied how you talk, learned your rhythm, stole your words. It sounds like you, but it's not. It's a program planted by others. It only survives because you keep feeding it. Every time you obey it, it grows stronger. And how does it work? It starts quiet. You think of an idea. You feel a pull towards something bold. And before you move, the voice whispers, what if it doesn't work? What will they say? You've never done this before. And just like that, you're split, pulled in two directions. The will to act V's, the fear to begin. That is self-paralysis. That is how we stop ourselves. It doesn't come from wisdom. It comes from habit, from repetition. You've rehearsed doubt so much, your subconscious believes it's who you are. And here's the law. Once the subconscious accepts a rhythm, it keeps playing it over and over until a stronger one replaces it. That's the tragedy of most lives. They don't fall from explosions. They die in silence, in hesitation, in overthinking. The man who questions every move will take none. The man who argues with himself becomes his own enemy. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The man who doubts himself has already surrendered. The world doesn't have to stop him. He stops himself. Understand this. Whatever you repeat with emotion becomes belief. The subconscious doesn't ask, is this true? It just asks, how often have you said this? It hears emotion. It records repetition. It responds to what you feel deeply and say often. So if all you ever do is replay doubt, hesitation, fear, then, yes, that will become your life. Not because you were cursed, but because you installed it. But here's the truth on. The same law that enslaves you can also set you free. Faith and doubt are built the same way, by repetition. One is formed by drift, the other by decision. You have the power to choose. Right now, this very minute, you can start planting new thoughts, strong thoughts, purposeful thoughts. Feed them with your voice. Fuel them with your will. If you stay with it, those new thoughts will take root, and they will build a new version of you. Let's come back to Edison. He failed over 10,000 times trying to invent the light bulb, but never once did he let failure speak louder than his desire. He didn't let the past write the present. He didn't borrow fear from others. He didn't say, maybe it's a sign. He said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. That's not just resilience. That's mastery. Do you think Edison didn't hear the voice of doubt? Of course he did. But he answered it. He shouted over it. He led his mind. He didn't ask it for permission. And that's the difference. He made belief a decision, not a feeling. He repeated his goal. He visualized the outcome. He devoted everything to making it real. That's how belief is built, through repetition, control of attention, and definite action. Attention is your greatest weapon, because where attention goes, energy flows. And if you feed the voice of doubt, you make it stronger. But if you redirect your focus, if you starve it, ignore it, challenge it, then your energy will start building something new. And that's how you take back control. If you shift your focus to your purpose, to your vision, to your decision, then doubt begins to weaken, starved of your energy. You have to learn to catch yourself drifting and yank your attention back hard. This isn't passive. It's the daily fight for your mind. You have to win it every morning, every hour. You are not the thoughts that pass through your head. You are the one who decides which thoughts stay. You are the gatekeeper. And if the voice of doubt has been running loose, it's only because you forgot there was even a gate. But now you remember. And once you remember, the choice becomes yours. You can keep letting the mimic act like it's you, or you can drive it out with the full force of your will. You may wonder, how can I believe when I feel weak? The answer is not to feel different. It's to speak differently. Speak belief. Your feelings will catch up. Speak strength. It will rise in you. Speak faith, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Faith isn't a mood. It's not some fuzzy feeling. Faith is discipline. It's refusing to think thoughts that kill your drive. The subconscious can't reject what you keep saying with emotion. So choose wisely. Say out loud who you intend to become. Say it with power. Say it daily. Say it when it feels fake, because that's when it matters most. Say this now. Every time I speak belief, I grow stronger. Every time I obey doubt, I grow weaker. I choose to believe in my purpose with all my will. Write it. Repeat it. Post it where you see it every single day, because the voice you feed with attention becomes your life. And if you don't install your own belief, the world will install its fear. Now look at the difference. The man of doubt wakes up with questions. The man of faith wakes up with direction. The doubter asks, can I really do this? The man of faith says, Here's what I will do today. The doubter looks around and waits for a sign. The man of faith looks inside and moves. Don't confuse this with arrogance. The man of faith is humble, but not hesitant. He doesn't claim to know everything, but he starts with what he does know. He understands that clarity doesn't come before movement. It comes because of it. So he moves again and again until the path reveals itself. And what about failure? What about all the setbacks? They're not confirmation of doubt. They're confirmation of commitment. Every obstacle is a question, do you really want this? And the only right answer is more action. Dead. The world is not going to hand you your dream. It's going to test you to see if you're serious. Only when your desire outweighs your old habits will your life begin to shift. So start. Now. Don't wait for the right feeling. Feelings are echoes of your old pattern. You're building a new one. You're becoming someone new. Someone who doesn't just think thoughts, but commands them. Someone who doesn't follow emotion, but leads with decisions. The voice of doubt will still come. Let it, but never answer it with silence. Answer with declaration. Let it speak, and then speak louder. Let it whisper, and then shout the truth. In time, you'll see something shift. The doubt will start to fade. You'll catch yourself choosing belief by instinct. You'll take action without overthinking. You'll stand in your purpose without apology. And in that moment, you'll know. Doubt no longer rules your mind. It might knock. It might rattle the gate. But it no longer gets to sit on the throne. Faith isn't a mystery. It's not a rare gift. It's not something handed to the lucky few. It's a mental state. And like any mental state, it can be created, strengthened, and locked in through action. Faith is not born. It's built. And it's built by repetition, by emotion, and by relentless decision. And where faith lives, doubt cannot survive. You've been told that faith is something you either have or don't. That it either lives in you or it doesn't. But that's a lie. That's the story told by drifters, by those who gave up and needed an excuse to explain why. Faith isn't something you find. It's something you build. It's a garden you plant, and the hands that shape it are yours. The main tool to build it, autosuggestion. That means giving direct orders to your subconscious, not wishes, not vague hopes, commands, repeated thoughts fueled by real emotion, delivered with certainty. Every man who ever had unshakable belief built it this way, not by waiting for the mood, but by deciding to speak with power, to give his mind clear orders. Do you want to build faith? Then write your definite goal, not someday, not loosely. Write it as a declaration. Be specific. What do you want? How will you get it? By when? Make it so clear your mind can't misinterpret it, and then say it out loud. Every morning, every night. Look yourself in the eye when you say it. Say it until your chest burns with it, until the words don't sound like hope. They sound like truth. Let your imagination paint the finish line. See yourself already living the life you're aiming for. Hear the congratulations. Smell the air of that future. Walk like it's already done. And let's be clear, this isn't fantasy. This is mastery. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to logic. It responds to image and emotion. It accepts whatever you repeat with feeling. You are training it to believe. And belief always comes before reality. Understand these: faith isn't blind, dead. Faith sees what isn't yet visible. Faith moves toward what the senses can't confirm. Faith walks forward before the road is built. It is the foundation every achievement is built on. A man can have talent, resources, and brilliant ideas. But if he has no faith, he will hesitate. And hesitation is where dreams go to die. Let me tell you about someone who didn't hesitate. Charles Schwab. He started out as a laborer in a steel mill, just a worker. But in his mind, he saw more. He saw who he could become, not just who he was. He declared his goal and repeated it every day. He didn't let anyone else's opinion shake that vision. He studied Carnegie, applied every principle, and step by step rose to become the president of the biggest steel corporation in the world. Was it luck? Was it chance? Not even close. It was faith, backed by persistence. It was a man who trained his mind to believe in himself. Schwab decided fast, acted boldly, and never apologized for wanting more. He believed he belonged at the top, before anyone else saw it. That's how faith works. It declares truth before the world agrees. Now it's your turn. Take out a sheet of paper and write your definite chief aim. Don't write a wish. Write a vow. Don't say, I hope. Say, I will. Write it with the fire of commitment. Then go to the mirror and speak it. Out loud. Look yourself in the eyes. Say it again. Say it like it's already real. Say it boldly every morning, every night. Don't miss a single day. Each time you do, you crack the wall of doubt. Each declaration is a brick in your new foundation. Don't say, I'll try. Don't say, maybe. Say, it is done. Say, my definite chief aim is my only master. The more your mind hears that command, the more it obeys. That is the law of autosuggestion. That is how unshakable faith is formed. Treat this like a sacred practice, a ceremony of power. The same way your body must be trained to grow, your mind must be trained to believe. Faith is a muscle, and repetition is how you build it. Speak your aim like a general preparing for war. Speak like the whole world is listening and about to move to meet you. Understand this clearly. Doubt cannot survive where faith is practiced daily. They cannot share the same house. One will always drive the other out. Dead. If you commit to the daily practice of auto-suggestion, if you keep your aim burning in your mind, if you never let fear speak unchallenged, you will choke out doubt. You'll build a belief so strong, no setback, no criticism, no delay can shake it. You'll move with the confidence of someone who knows. You'll decide without seeking approval. You'll keep going when others fold. You won't ask if you deserve success. You'll demand it. And you'll act like someone who does. That is what faith looks like when built through discipline. Now speak this. Let it become your inner coding. My definite chief aim is my only master. I repeat it. I believe it. I act on it. I do not stop until it is done. Let those words be your war cry. Say them to your reflection you rise. Say them before you sleep. Say them when fear creeps in. Say them in failure. I say them in victory. You are no longer waiting for belief. You are building it. The man of faith doesn't wait for praise. He doesn't need perfect conditions. He moves because he gave himself the order. He's aligned his mind, his will, and his body toward one aim. Nothing else gets his attention. You must become that man. Don't let a single day pass without this practice. Don't let a single moment of doubt slide by unchallenged. Don't let emotion dictate your action. You now take your orders from purpose. And faith is your soldier. Start now. Start with fire. Start with voice. Start with the decision to believe in the life you were born to build. The world doesn't get a vote. Your past doesn't get a say. Only your voice matters now. And what you keep repeating will be done. Decision is the sword that kills hesitation. It doesn't ask. It doesn't wait. It cuts through the noise. It silences doubt. It demands forward motion. In all my years studying the most successful men in America, one trait stood out above all others. Not talent, not schooling, not luck. It was the ability to make clear decisions fast and stick to them with resolve. In Think and Grow Rich, I wrote it plainly. Men who succeed decide quickly and change slowly. Men who fail decide slowly and change often. Why? Because hesitation kills dreams. The man who can't decide has already given up his will. He waits to be told. He waits to be reassured. And in the waiting, life moves on without him. Hesitation is a mental disease. It starts with doubt, spreads to imagination, and shuts down action. It's a symptom of drifting. A man who hesitates has no center. He doesn't stand. He sways. He doesn't lead. He checks. He doesn't move. He stalls. And with every pause, doubt grows stronger until it no longer whispers. It roars. You won't defeat that voice by thinking harder. You don't win by debating it. You kill it. You kill it by deciding. You kill it by acting before you feel ready. You kill it by stepping toward your aim and never stepping back. Decision is the cure. Action is the antidote. Look at Henry Ford. When he decided to build an engine with all 8 cylinders in one block, the experts said it was impossible. His engineers gave him proof. Data explanations. Ford didn't argue, he said. Build it anyway. And when they came back months later, still failing, he said it again. Build it anyway. Over and over. Until it was done. Ford didn't debate fear. He didn't let failure shout louder than his decision. He knew something most never dog decision is power. It's not perfect timing that makes success. It's the refusal to wait for it. Once the decision is made, the mind focuses, the will hardens, the body acts, and the world adjusts. You must become that man, not someday, not when it's comfortable. Now, dead. Decide that you will become the man who lives by his own power. Decide that hesitation is no longer welcome. Decide that every step you take from here will move you closer to the life you were meant to create. And from now on, you raise the question, what if I fail? Replace it with one far more important, what if I never try? You see, doubt cannot survive where decision is firm. The voice of doubt feeds on delay. It multiplies in that space between thought and action. Kill the pause, and you kill the voice. The man who moves before fear gets a chance to speak becomes unstoppable. He doesn't wait for a perfect plan. He builds the plan while moving. He doesn't seek confidence. He creates it with every step. Most men overthink their way into failure. They analyze, hesitate, then stall, until the door they wanted to walk through slams shut. They confuse thought with progress. But the wise man, he thinks, then decides, then moves. He doesn't cycle back to start again. He walks forward, always forward. And that forward movement, that decision in motion, is what builds the very confidence others are waiting to feel before they begin. You want to kill doubt. Then stop asking if you're ready. Stop looking for signs. Stop surveying people around you to confirm what your soul already knows. Decide. Decide now that your chief aim is not a wish. It's a requirement. Decide that your faith won't flicker, that your voice will speak louder than every whisper of fear, every outside opinion, every imagined obstacle. Speak it aloud. Let it become who you are. I'm the type of person who decides quickly and stands firm. Dead. I'm the type of person who does not wait. I begin. I'm the type of person who kills fear with action. I'm the type of person who builds confidence through movement. I'm the type of person who chooses purpose over comfort. These aren't just statements. They are weapons. Every one of them is a blow to the voice of doubt. Each one is a command to your subconscious. Each repetition is a sculptor's chisel carving a new self-image. One of a builder, not a watcher. One of a leader, not a drifter. You've been told to be careful, trained to wait for the right time. But let's be honest. The right time never shows up for the man who waits. It only becomes visible to the man who moves. Action creates readiness. Decision creates momentum. And momentum crushes fear. From this moment forward, dead. Treat every hesitation like an enemy. Destroy it with movement. Don't spend days pondering what can be done in 5 minutes. Don't overthink what your heart has already confirmed. Trust this, a decision backed by purpose is always right, even if the outcome isn't what you expected. Every step made in faith clears your vision. Every bold action strengthens your grip on yourself. Don't fear mistakes. Fear standing still. Dead. Don't fear failure. Fear never beginning. Every great breakthrough started with an uncertain leap. Every leader once stood where you are now, right on the edge of the unknown. The only difference, they leaped, and you must become one of them. Kill the voice of doubt by refusing to feed it. Decide before it whispers. Move while it waits. Starve it of the delay it needs, and it will go silent. Let these words become your long I do not delay. I do not hesitate, I decide. I act. I conquer. Repeat this when hesitation creeps in. Speak it when fear starts to grow. Say it when you feel tired, weak, unsure. And that voice of doubt, you'll watch it fade. Decision is the seed of all success. The man who decides leads. He leads his life, his family, his vision, his future. Now write your decision. Make it final. Speak it aloud. Then, take an action that matches it. Right now, not tomorrow, not later, today, this hour. Don't let this day end without movement. Start the habit of immediate action, and doubt will suffocate from lack of breath. The mind, like the body, was made to obey. It will serve whoever gives it the clearest command. But when there's no master, when there's no defined direction, the mind wanders. It drifts. It listens to every noise, every doubt, every outside suggestion. A mind that drifts becomes the playground of fear. Controlled attention is the key to taking back your power. Controlled attention is not just thinking. It's choosing what to think about and refusing everything else. It's the mental muscle that says, this is what we're focused on. This is the only thought allowed here. This isn't passive. It isn't wishful thinking. It's war. It's mental control. And the man who trains it, he realizes his thoughts aren't random. They're tools, dead. They're weapons. They're building blocks of a life no one can take from him. Look at John D. Rockefeller. He was a man of enormous wealth, but even greater inner control. While others panicked at the sound of financial collapse, while newspapers screamed and critics gathered like wolves, John D. Rockefeller sat still. His calm wasn't from ignorance. It came from mastery. He had trained his mind to focus on one thing, his goal. No man's opinion, no market's noise could shake his thought. That is real power. Power isn't found in force. It's found in focus. The average man leaks energy by the minute. His thoughts are scattered. His mind's cluttered with nonsense, fear, and imaginary problems. He allows news, gossip, and shows to enter his inner world, so he ends the day exhausted, not from action, but from distraction, not from labor, but from mental chaos. But the man who controls attention, he doesn't let his thoughts get hijacked. He protects them. He directs them like a laser. Every thought costs energy. Every fear you entertain feeds the rhythm of weakness. Every time you let your mind wander aimlessly, you open the door to doubt and let it back in. Your attention is currency. Invest it where it pays. On your chief aim, your identity, your next action, nowhere else. You've already learned the subconscious mind responds to repetition, but repetition only happens through focus. The subconscious amplifies what gets your attention, whether that's faith or fear, purpose or hesitation, truth or a lie. If you dwell on failure, your mind will make it grow. If you fix your gaze on purpose, your mind will call every part of you to bring it to life. So the question isn't, will I be influenced? The question is, what have I chosen to influence me? You can't live in neutral. Either you are programming your mind, or it's being programmed for you. Either you're leading your thoughts, or you're reacting to whatever noise comes next. Controlled attention means you choose your thoughts like a soldier chooses weapons. It's not enough to reject fear. You must install faith. It's not enough to silence doubt. You must speak purpose. Autosuggestion isn't just a motivational routine. It becomes your filter, your discipline. Every day, you must place your definite chief aim before you. Speak it out loud. Feel it. Picture it with clarity. Then say to yourself, this is what I think about today. This is what I solve. This is what I build. When fear shows up, speak louder. When worry rises, dismiss it. When distraction comes, return to your aim. 10,000 times if needed. You may ask, what about the world? What about its noise and demands? Yes, the world can ask for your time, your words, your effort. But it cannot take your attention unless you give it away. And you must never give it cheaply. Your attention is your crown. Defend it. No one can steal it without your permission. Every time you entertain doubt, you invite it to stay. You are not a victim of thought. You are the host. Thoughts don't just show up. They stay because you allow them. They grow because you feed them. Controlled attention means you must evict them. When a thought weakens you, don't analyze it. Don't debate it. Remove it. There's a quiet place in every man, a place beyond noise, beyond confusion, beyond opinion. In that silence, your purpose speaks clearly. But to find it, you must be still, not passive, but intentional. You must block out the outer world and listen for one voice, your own. That silence isn't empty. It's power without sound, dead. It's clarity without volume. It's where decisions are born. It's where faith gets rebuilt, dead. It's where you remember who you are and what you're building. You don't find that silence through idleness. You reach it through returning again and again to your chief aim. Understand this. The man who masters his attention masters his life. He isn't swayed by trends. He's not shaken by critics. He doesn't ride the waves of public opinion. His eyes are fixed on his vision, and every thought is a step toward it. He lives with one question. Does this thought serve my purpose? If yes, he keeps it. If no, he removes it. That is mental self-respect. Begin this discipline now. Write your definite chief aim on a card. Carry it with you. Read it when you wake up. Read it when you walk. Read it when you eat. Say it out loud when you feel yourself drifting. Make it your mental anchor. Every other thought must bow to it. Every emotion must be measured against it. Every word you speak must match it. You will fail sometimes. Your mind will wander. Distraction will knock. Doubt will try to return. But you must return faster. Repetition is not weakness. It is how mastery is built. Controlled attention doesn't mean you never waver. It means you snap back faster, with more certainty, until drifting becomes rare. And in time, you'll feel it. Your thoughts will start lining up. Your inner voice will grow clearer. Fear will stop showing up unified. The battlefield in your head will become a blueprint. Your mind will become a weapon. And on that day, you will finally be able to say, I am the master of my mind. Now do this. Remove every input that does not serve your purpose. Eliminate the noise. Choose your thoughts the way a master craftsman chooses his tools. Repeat your chief aim out loud with full intensity at least twice every day. Visualize its success with emotion, focus, and total clarity. Dismiss any thought that does not serve your goal immediately. Let these words become the command that governs your mental world. I choose my thoughts with precision. I give my attention only to what builds me. I guard my mind like a treasure vault. I fix my focus on my purpose, and I allow no intruder. I am the master of my attention. You were never meant to live at the mercy of outside forces. You were designed to steer your life with intention. And that direction begins with thought. The voice of doubt cannot survive when your focus is sharp. The power of your mind is not in how fast it runs, but in what direction it moves. So take the reins. Choose your thought. Control your focus, and you will control your outcome. If you've come this far, you are no longer drifting. You are no longer guessing. You are standing, here now, with the ruins of an old identity behind you, and the tools of a new self in your hands. And what comes next is sacred work, the rebuilding of your self-image. Because every success you will ever build must first rest on the man inside. You won't build towers of wealth, freedom, or influence unless the man within stands tall in his own eyes. Confidence isn't arrogance. It isn't noise. It isn't the loud bragging of ego. It isn't dressing up superiority. Confidence is trust. Trust in your ability to take action, even in uncertainty. Trust in your mind to decide, to adapt, to endure. Trust in your voice to speak with purpose and direction. Confidence doesn't shout. It moves. And the man who has it doesn't need to convince anyone. His actions speak for him. Most men think they lack confidence because they don't feel it. But confidence isn't a feeling. It's a decision, dead. It's not something you find. It's something you do. The very moment you take action without waiting to feel ready, you've started building it. Every step taken despite fear becomes another brick in the structure of certainty. And just like doubt, confidence is built by repetition. Think of Abraham Lincoln. A man who, by all outer measures, should have walked away from leadership. He lost more elections than he won. He endured humiliation, heartbreak, ridicule. He was bankrupt, depressed, mocked for how he looked, how he spoke, what he believed. But he didn't quit, because inside him was a quiet belief that his cause was right, that his effort mattered, and that he would not be defined by other men's opinions. Lincoln's confidence wasn't loud. It was carved in silence, tested in pain, proven by endurance. That is the kind of confidence you must build. Dead. Not one that swells when praised, but one that grows when tested. A confidence that doesn't rely on compliments or consensus, but on your own decision to keep moving forward, no matter what. To build this, you need a new code. Dead. You need to rewrite the language in your mind. There's no more room for I can't, I'm not sure, or I hope. Those are not the words of a builder. Those are the echoes of defeat. From now on, your answer to every challenge is one phrasing, I will. Let me give you the formula, the one that changes everything. Speak it, memorize it, engrave it into your mind. This is the self-confidence forelag. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. This is not something you read once. It is something you repeat morning and night until it becomes the voice inside your head. This is your blade. This is the root of your new identity. And every repetition is a strike against hesitation. Every time you say it, you silence the old rhythm and install a new one, the rhythm of confidence. Confidence isn't built in a single day. It is built every day in the disciplined practice of belief. Just as your body grows with resistance, your certainty grows with every intentional thought. Don't wait to feel bold. Speak bold. Act bold. And boldness will find you in motion. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about reprogramming yourself. Every time you speak belief, you reinforce it. Dead. Every time you choose action instead of overthinking, you confirm your power. You're not faking anything. You're returning to who you've always been beneath all that learned hesitation. You must become ruthless with your language. Don't say I'm trying. Say I am doing. Don't say we'll see. Say I will see it through. Speak like a man with resolve. Act like a man who's already certain. Live like a man who commands his direction. Because the man who is sure of his purpose will draw confidence to him like metal to a magnet. You may still hear doubt. You may still feel moments of weakness. That's fine. Let the echo of fear stay in the background. Just speak louder. Every time you trust your action over your anxiety, the voice of doubt fades further into history, where it belongs. No man is born with unshakable confidence. Every man you admire built his, by choosing, by acting, by facing the uncertainty and walking through it anyway. Do not measure yourself by yesterday's missteps. That man is gone. You're not rebuilding the past. You're creating what must be. You're not recovering old belief. You're installing new conviction. Every move you make now is another stone in the foundation of a man who knows who he is. Say this out loud. Make it your internal strengthening. I trust myself. I do not ask for permission. I do not wait to feel ready. I act with boldness because I have commanded my mind to believe. Say it again. Say it when you rise. Say it when you fall. Say it when you win. Let these words become your armor. Let them become the steel around your mind. Let them drown out doubt, delay, and every false limit. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's what you do when fear stands in front of you. It's what you tell yourself when nobody else sees the vision. It's how you move, how you speak, how you decide. Start now. Take one step in faith. Speak one truth in power. Write one sentence that defines who you are becoming. And do it again tomorrow. And again. Gone dead. Until the man in the mirror no longer needs reminding, because he already knows. You don't need the world's approval. Dead. You don't need your past to verify your future. You need only this decide. Speak. Act. Dead. And confidence will meet you, not as a feeling but as the foundation from which you build everything else.